Oh, fantastic! You can hear me now. Yay! What a wonderful way to start the stream. So, I'm gonna guess that no one heard the introduction that I gave, and that's totally fine. So, the combination of the colors that you see on screen, the title of the stream, and a recent movie that I'm pretty sure has come out already, we're going to be doing a Barbie-inspired stream today. So, without further ado and wasting no time, I'm going to share my screen like so. Maybe we'll have them like this today. What do we think? Maybe like so. Actually, let's stick with the usual and have it like this. How about that? Okay, so as you can see, there's lots of reference images here. But as always, I started off with using Firefly. Now, I will give a heads up. This process was a little bit challenging. Now, Firefly is still in beta, it's still new, and I don't think necessarily that there are too many photos of Barbies in Adobe stock, or dolls, dolls in general. So, word of caution, if you're going to use Adobe Firefly, just be prepared that some of the if you want to sort of find something that is human and human looking, it might be a little bit tricky. You might get some slightly spooky results. As you can see with some of these are sort of the best of the bunch that I've picked out. But some of the results were quite spooky. So we're going to use Firefly as reference today. So reference in terms of maybe the shape of the head or colors and things like that. But we're actually going to use actual Barbies that you can play with today, and other kinds of dolls, and also blind box dolls as well, as a bit of inspiration. So this is taking on the idea that Jeremy Lord posited in his previous streams of the difference between reference and inspiration. So for reference, we are going to... Oh, I think I'm going to mix them up, potentially. Well, for reference or inspiration, we're going to use both Firefly, found images, and sketches. So let's zoom in this way. And as you can see, actually, let's zoom in a lot more. I started just doing a couple of sketches, trying to figure out, okay, well, what does a doll look like in my style, first of all, and what is my style in this case? And also, what level of realism or toyism, you could say, do I want to capture in this stream? So by the end of my little research extravaganza, I decided that yes, we are going to be inspired by Barbie as a figurine, a doll, a toy, and sort of take that playfulness, the aesthetic. As you can see, I am wearing a pink shirt to commemorate the occasion, and let's just see what we can make with it, because I don't think I've ever necessarily drawn a Barbie before. I played with Barbie when I was younger, and maybe 2 weeks ago, but you know, we we'll just see how we go. This is going to be an experimental stream of the experimental. But let's get going. And while I'm getting started here, just sketching or digitizing a sketch that you've seen, I've just selected out and made larger here. So from my sketchbook, this profile sketch here, I've just taken that, selected it, enlarged it, and put it over here. It's a bit of a warm-up, sort of keep it easy to start. So while I do that, how about you, chat? How about you let me know, did you play with Barbie when you were younger, or have you played with Barbie? I'd be also curious to know if you collect things like blind box toys. Now, is that something you do? I actually have, for reference, This is the last thing, and then we'll definitely get into the drawing. These are also some inspiration that I took. So you can kind of hopefully see. Oh, that's going to be in my small view, so let's make that big, big view here. So you can see this little figurine is a blind box toy, and basically you get a series of certain designs, and you hope you get the one that you really, really, really want to get, but you never quite know. And by the end of it, by collecting from a couple of different sets or collecting all from the same set, you have a nice collection of dolls and figurines, which is a hobby, excuse me, that I partake in. It's very, very fun, but my wallet doesn't always agree with me. Oh well. Now let me know, chat, as well, how the music is, if that's at a good level. I think that might have been what caused us issues in the beginning. Just trying to figure out what the correct volume is, because I wasn't muted on anything, but you obviously could not hear me. So that is a mystery for another time. And yes, Money, Barbie and Blythe dolls. What's Blythe? That sounds really interesting. Initially, when I saw the letter B, I thought you were going to say Bratz dolls, which is definitely something that I wanted to play with as a kid, but I think my parents weren't as fond of Bratz dolls as compared to Barbie. But eventually, they did cave in. My sister and I asked so nicely. Let's see here. Actually, no, that's going into too much detail. What I'm now doing just as a bit of a warm-up, and this is something that I tend to do. I'll have an idea and I'll scribble it out on paper, and if I'm good, I will then just take that into Fresco, because I'm using Fresco again today. Take that into Fresco and draw it up and make it into a finished illustration. And since I'm definitely out of my comfort zone today with this stream, a little bit, even though I've drawn quite a couple of out of comfort zone things lately. This one actually probably takes the cake, as they say. This is not something that I thought I would be doing, but we're going to have a great time, so it's all good. Now, let's see. We have our basic shapes, and let's just, for the sake of having at least one finished colored piece for today, let's pick color. Now it's gonna look wrong at the start because I've definitely picked a pink that is potentially too dark. But as always, or as you know, I'm a big fan of the clipping mask. So I can just use this color layer as my base, or as my base and as my foundation, and then just pick and choose other colors on top of that. And I will say, having this strong of a pink and red presence does feel very on brand for today. Now, Manny has asked a question, and everyone, please feel free to ask questions about uh, what I'm doing or even where I'm from. La Porte D on YouTube says that they can't tell if I'm from Australia or New Zealand. Very good question. Actually, kind of neither or neither. Um, I'm from Sweden originally, but I've been living here in Australia for, oh goodness me, over 15 years now for sure. Um, but as a immigrant and as someone who speaks English as my second language, my accent is all over the place. Um, so that's what's confusing you. But I don't think I've gotten New Zealand in a while. So that's refreshing. Thank you. And Manny as well in chat. Johanna, did you watch My Little Pony Littlest Pest? No, Littlest Pet Shop. There you go. That's proof that I'm not a native English speaker. Um, I did. I vaguely. Here's the thing. As part of sort of staying in touch with my inner child and my curiosity, I have definitely watched My Little Pony. For example, I watched the movie that came out because the colors were just beautiful. Um, but I honestly can't say if I watched it too much when I was a kid because we only had standard TV, so we didn't have the equivalent here in Australia would be like Foxtel or Nickelodeon. So I only would have gotten exposed to My Little Pony. Well, first of all, from the toys, definitely, and otherwise maybe from cousins having movies or like the TV show on VHS or DVD. But I'm not sure if, while also being the target audience age, um, I watched that show. I think maybe I was more of a Care Bears kid. Um, Definitely Barbie. I did watch some of the Barbie movies for sure. Otherwise, it was things like Tintin, things like Curious George, Babar, Bully Boompa, which is kind of the equivalent of Saturday morning cartoons, but it is every day, and it's sort of the designated kids programming that you would get on Channel 4, I think, in Sweden. And hello, Alessandra. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're not staying up too late to catch the stream, but if you are, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm noticing that my bracelet was snagging a bit on the tablet, so I apologize if that was an annoying sound. We have had some sound issues today, haven't we, chat? Now, let's see. I think, yeah, that's a nice warm up scribble. I think I am just going to make one more line. Oh, I've already caught another problem. I'm going to make that line, just follow that through, go back here and just color in the final bits and pieces that I didn't catch when I was a bit more zoomed out and had a much larger brush. So let's do that. And then we can move on to the next thing. Let's see. Now, what should that next thing be? Is that the last? Okay, last thing, I promise. See, even with these super, super simple illustrations, I can get lost and get caught in the detail. But let's group this together. like so, and consider that done for now. And just to be safe, I'm going to lock the layer so I can't mess with it. Now, what shall we do next? I think, chat, you should decide. As you can see, I have 2 unfinished sketches here. And thank you, Manny, saying the pink looks awesome. Thank you, thank you. Now, I think because of that very, very lovely comment, you get to decide, do we try to refine the sketch of this full body character, or do we refine the sketch of this face here? Now, I can show you where that inspiration was from, actually, from this Firefly image right here. Now, as you can see with Firefly, if you look for a little bit too long, you will notice some flaws. Maybe the hands, maybe don't have many fingers or too many fingers, or, clothing and things not necessarily working or behaving as they should. But for inspiration, let's say, it is a great tool. Some of these designs are, of course, wonderful, and also the rendering of this one here with the face is absolutely stunning. So I definitely think that even though some of the results were a bit creepy, Firefly definitely, played an important role in my research and prep for the stream today. Now let's see, chat. I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to decide what we do next. So you let me know. The choice is between this full body character here, turning that into something, this head sketch down here, maybe one of the sketches here, or if you want to throw a real curveball, something entirely new and different. Let's see, maybe the full body doll. Okay, let's go with that. Now, I did actually try this before the stream, and is it this one? Yes. And this is what I did. Now, I don't hate it. Oh, that's a great disclaimer of your work. But no, I don't hate it, but something doesn't feel quite like me. And I think it's partly because I don't think I've ever done monoline people drawings before. And something about this, even though, yes, you can't see their hands because, you don't always have to see someone's hands to know that they're there, and hands can be annoying to draw. So, there we go. But let's now try looking at this and thinking, okay, what don't I like about it? Is it purely the brush that I've used? Is it the color? Is it, trying to figure out and define, like, where from the initial sketch and here did something happen that doesn't feel like, yeah, that's what I wanted it to be. So without further ado, we're going to hide that and bring that back and do a new layer. And actually, let's try out some brushes here. What do I have in my favorites? Perfect pencil. Interesting. Now what I will do, let's color pick a fun pink. That's a fun pink. Go 20. Ooh, maybe that's a bit too thin. Now, is Chunk the one? No, Chunk's more of a sketchy brush. How about Rough and Rowdy? Nah. Now, I can, as you can probably tell, be stuck in picking the right brush for ages. But don't worry, chat. We won't be here for ages. I promise. But I do want to see if I can get the right brush, because that does. Even though I'm a massive proponent of, doesn't matter what brush you're using or what equipment you're using. The best equipment is the one that you have in your hand. The stuff that you have access to yourself. And I do agree with that. But I also want things to be fun and enjoyable. And if the brush isn't right, then the process of drawing isn't going to be as fun as I know it is. So it's all a bit of give and take, and you're going to have a balance around it. But let's see here, just starting somewhere on the sketch. And of course I pick one of the more tedious parts, which is getting something symmetrical-ish. Okay, one more time. Okay, just one more time. Okay, that'll have to do. I can fix it up later. Let's see. Clubbies or clubies, see, you are back. Welcome back. Where have you been? Where did you go? We are drawing Barbie-inspired dolls here today, because the movie is either just about to come out or it has come out, and that seemed like a fun idea to do. So I have a sketch here and I'm just filling it in. And seeing, actually, you know what? I'm going to do that on another layer. Now this is where in the refining, or the doing the inking stage process, where using different layers is really useful, because as you can see, some of these elements will be overlapping and interacting with each other. And what a really nifty thing that I can do, if I do, for example, the front of the hair on a different layer, is that I can just create a empty mask on that layer and non-destructively erase what I don't want, what I don't need, which I think is super. Okay. Now, you obviously saw what dress I had drawn out for this character, but I am more than happy for you, chat, to, when it's time for it, and I'll zoom out so you can see better, for you to pick an outfit for this character. But in the meantime, how about we start with just the name? So what could this character's name be? You let me know. Okay. Now I think we've done the front part of the hair enough. Let's make another layer. And whoop, make a mistake. And keep doing the next level of her hair. Oh, thank you. Now, is it clubbies or clubies? I'm not quite sure. And I want to pronounce your name correctly. So please let me know in the chat. Susanna. That's not how you spell Susanna. But welcome. And thank you for that lovely compliment. It was very sweet of you. Okay, let's crack on a bit quickly. We do have, sadly, a limited amount of time for the stream today. Now, I have been thinking about it, but I'm curious what you all think, chat. Would you be down for longer streams of Firefly Friday? Because that is definitely something that I would be open to if it means we have time to finish finish more drawings, maybe, but also take requests and have time to sort of finish those as well. Yeah, you let me know, chat. No pressure, and no rush on your thoughts either. Susie, clubbies, nice. Cloudy next to cloudy. Oh, I like all of the names. They're gorgeous. Okay, let's just fix the last bit of this hair. Yeah, I think that's done. And then what we'll do is just group these together so the hair makes sense and is all together. Now, the thing that I actually struggle with the most doing this sketch, and actually all of these sketches really, is the face. Which is interesting because I couldn't quite find the balance between it being stylized and realistic, it being a doll. I know that Barbie dolls are deliberately grown up, like the teenagers or above, at the very least. They all have jobs, and that was something that the creator of Barbie was quite adamant about, because in the creation of Barbie, they noticed that their child sort of was drawn more towards grown-up dolls than excuse me, I'm trying to focus a bit. Grown up as opposed to the baby ones, for example. Let's see, it's just unique a little bit, even though you saw that I did do the sneaky copy and paste. Let's see. Oh, Alessandra, I'm so sorry. I thought you were okay. So I thought you were saying that Claudia's name was Susanna. Oh, that's been a massive misunderstanding, hasn't it? No, I think Susanna's a really sweet name. That's wonderful. I'm so sorry about that misunderstanding. No, okay, definitely it's done. This character's name is Susanna. Let's write that down. Susanna. And I reckon Suze for sure. Okay. And we have that locked in. And just keeping track of time as well, we have, I believe, a little bit over 20 minutes left. So that's good. Now here comes the part that I struggled. Which is just the relationship and the balance of the eyebrows, and the eyes and the face. Just trying to figure out what scale we're working with here. And again, also like what level of realism do we want to go for? Let's do some lashes. Mm. And that too, really, just like a lot of, funnily enough, a lot of this process of just trying out sketching a doll, I found really quite challenging to get it to look right, and not just right in terms of like, oh, dolls have to look whichever which way, but right in the sense of like, yeah, this is something that I would have made. Um, oh, that is very, very sweet. Yeah, Susanna, great name and a lovely inspiration for that name too. Now, I think just to make sure that we have time to do, I'm so sorry, preliminary colors on Susanna. I'm just going to very simply just do a basic basic silhouette shape here. And if we have time, we can glitz and glam that a little bit. But for now, let's group all these things together because I'm not quite at the stage where I can comfortably merge, I don't think, but let's group that. Now we can hide the layer underneath. Okay, not bad. There's always a bit of a, ooh, will it, won't it work moment when you when you move the sketch underneath. Ooh, that was scary. Okay, so now I'm just going to go in and sort of in random places put in different pinks and reds and maybe orange to give this drawing some color. Oh, Alessandra, you have character designs. Wow. On your website. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to check them out after the stream. Okay. I'm happy enough with those eyes. Let's give this one. So then it's some lip color as well. Yeah, nice. And then let's find a skin color. It could be this one. I'm going to actually increase the brush size for this one. Oh, what's happened there? There we go. Oh, thank you very much, Alessandra. You are hyping me up good. Yeah, I have to admit I was quite nervous about this stream. So I always wanna give or share something or show something that is of quality. But I suppose also sharing, well, I know, also sharing the times when you have doubts and when you're not quite sure is also really important too. because that's how everyone learns, including yourself. So take this stream as I was scared to do it, but I did it anyway lesson. And I do feel like that kind of matches quite well with the attitude of Barbie being able to do absolutely everything, and everything it sort of sets its mind to. I say it because there's so many different Barbies. Okay. Let's now just go back and erase out the eyes. Cool. Okay. Now, I don't know if there's quite enough contrast. Oh, that's so sweet, Alessandra. Thank you. Yeah, I did have to do the whole self-talk of, whatever happens, it's going to be fine. It's just a drawing. Um, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't turn out exactly how you want it to. In fact, that's a lesson in and of itself if it doesn't turn out how you want it to. Okay, I wonder that eye color. Ooh, is that too strong? Let's just go with it for now. It might be. But we shall see. But let's go in. And how much time? Okay, we have 15 minutes left. Okay, with that in mind, let's not go with that eye color. Let's go. Oh, I've forgotten about the ears. Goodness me. Let's just fill in the ears real quick. Something like so. Yeah, that's cool. And I think for this color, this very striking, almost neon pink. Let's try doing the hair in that color. And let's maybe also bump up the brush size so we can get this done quicker. Melanie Martinez. Oh, I'm gonna quickly screenshot that name because I don't know exactly who that is, and I think I'm about to, when I look them up after the stream, be absolutely amazed by their work. And this is an interesting thing that I came across too in looking for both reference and inspiration and trying to strike a balance between using Firefly and using my own sort of imagination, and also looking at other artists' works as reference, inspiration, and all that stuff. Trying to, in a very short amount of time, sparse something together that felt sort of unique and characteristic of my work. And I mean, it goes to show if you don't draw dolls very often, you might find that you lean a little bit further into references and inspiration, which is totally fine because you're just starting out in sort of uh, creating or doing something within that space. Now what I want to do is just darken the outlines here because they were a bit too light. They were great for sketching, but now that we're getting more colors in, it's time to change it up. Now let's see, I do like that, but I also, let's just do a quick empty mask. Because I am getting a bit thrown just by that shape. So let's not have that just for now. Cool. And then we can go back in here. Oh, did I do the right thing? Veggie puns. Oh my goodness. Yes. Do it. It'll be so good. And then you of course gotta link and share it. Share it here in chat. Or somehow share it with me because this I gotta see. Okay, let's just do something as simple as that for now because we have about 10 minutes, I think, to go. All right, now I'm not too happy with the skin color. It's looking a bit too grey for me. So let's go in the bigger brush. So now I'm using this skin layer as a clipping mask. And let's go in, just try out some different colors. I think that looks much better. What's happened? Let's see. You know what? Something that's happened. So sorry, I got my timing wrong. And the stream actually wrapped up. So this is now a YouTube exclusive. I won't do any more work because that's not fair on people that watch on behance. I will apologize for getting my timing wrong. It has been a while since we've used Restream, and yeah, I absolutely got that timing wrong. My apologies. Well, let's sign out properly. So let's go here. Let me do this and this. There we go. So thank you everyone for joining us today for our Barbie inspired stream. It was a lovely time. I hope you, at the very least, just got a break to draw something inspired by characters or something from your childhood, which is always great fun. Now, I do hope you join us next week for more live streams, and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you in the next one, everyone. Bye.